Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Hughes. Terry Stiles out today. Coming up on this edition of Oxford News this week, first responders had an appreciation day. You might want to check your water bill. That could be going up a bit. And in sports, oh yes, the league has changed. We'll tell you more about that, and we will have our last story. All that and more coming up this edition of Oxford News this week. And welcome to Oxford News this week. I'm Jim Hughes once again, and a first responders appreciation event took place just a few weeks back on August 11th. That was hosted by the Oxford Township Parks and Rec Department, and of course it was held out at the Seymour Lake Township Park. Oxford Police Department Reserve Officer Jeremiah Suzar provided tours of police vehicles, and a lot of family and children had fun that day and learned a little bit more about their first responders. In a school board update, during the August 11th school board meeting, Superintendent Tanya Milligan announced that the 18 mil non-homestead operating millage proposal for the November ballot, this follows a 23-vote defeat of the previous 21 mil proposal on August 4th. The current millage expires in December, and without the replacement, the district will face a $7 million deficit starting in the 2027-2028 school year. The administration is currently reviewing budgets for cost reductions and will present its findings in September at that board meeting. A brand new ordinance actually slated, the proposed e-bike ordinance, where the Board of Trustees approved a first reading of the new e-bike ordinance. That took place on August 12th to regulate e-bikes on sidewalks and safety path trails, parks, and in the public in general. A first offense would carry a $50 fine. A second is a $100 fine. A third, very costly, a $500 plus cost of the potential vehicle impoundment. Parents can also face a civil infraction. A second reading was scheduled for the September 9th meeting at 6 p.m. at the Oxford Township Hall. If you are for or against the e-bikes, again, you might want to attend that meeting on September 9th at the Oxford Township Hall. Water and sewer rate increases were proposed. The Board of Trustees voted to raise sewer rates effective April 2027. The sewer operating and maintenance rate will increase from $44.50 to $49.50 per quarter. For residential homeowners, the net quarterly change will increase from $170 to $175, a $5 increase. Commercial sewer customers will then see an increase from $61 to $63 per MCF per quarter. And in our peeking in the past, we remember hearing about Tommy John, the Tommy John surgery. Tommy John, four-time All-Star left-hander Tommy John, passed away at the age of 83 over his 26-season Major League Baseball career from 1963 to 1989. He won 288 games and pioneered the 1974 elbow surgery that carried his name and continues to aid athletes today. Again, we condolences to the family and fans and colleagues of Tommy John passing away. Again, that surgery, very important. I'll be back with more. Dave Kenny's got his auto chalk coming up, and I will have a look at sports, something you're going to want to stay tuned. Again, some of the Saginaw schools are coming south. They're going to play in the OAA. We'll tell you more about that as Oxford News This Week continues.
In today's digital world, it's hard to know who to trust. Your local TV and radio stations bring you the facts. Misinformation and deep fakes flood social media. but broadcasters deliver verified and accurate news. For news, emergency updates, sports, and entertainment, turn to your local stations. Text TV to 52886 and urge Congress to support the vital local journalism broadcasters provide.
Who can you turn to for news you can trust? Your local TV and radio broadcasters. You trust us to keep you safe during times of crisis and to deliver the weather, sports, and entertainment you rely on every day. We bring you the facts you need to make decisions that matter. And as misinformation floods social media, you can trust your local stations to deliver the truth. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress you rely on your local stations for trusted news.
You know the national parks, but you may not know that they're supported by a strong foundation. A foundation for the future. We are the National Park Foundation. And together with your support, we are building a bold future where national parks are vibrant, protected, and welcoming. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from Automotive News. A Tesla Model 3 hit a cement pole after the rear-view camera failed. The driver of a Ford pickup scraped a light post in reverse. A Toyota minivan's backup display showed old images instead of live ones. Wow. These are among the roughly 2,000 complaints consumers have lodged with the U.S. auto safety regulators describing problems with glitchy rear-view camera systems, a figure that surged recently. Recalls over faulty backup cameras have similarly soared since the U.S. mandated the safety systems 8 years ago. Automakers have recalled approximately 21 million vehicles in that span, including almost 6 million last year, according to a Bloomberg analysis of NHTSA data. The stark figures make clear backup camera systems are one of the most error-prone features of modern automobiles. The more complicated this technology becomes, the more failure points that potentially can occur, says Chris Harvey, Senior Vice President for Hedgewick, or that is to say Sedgwick, a third-party claims administrator that works with companies on product recalls. Once an optional feature on high-end cars, cameras are now standard on new vehicles at every price. The mandate stemmed from a 2008 law signed by President George W. Bush directing regulators to help prevent pedestrian deaths and injuries caused by backup collisions, particularly those involving children. The cameras also can help drivers parallel park or ensure a child's bike wasn't left carelessly in the driveway. Yet for many owners, faulty cameras have proved a major nuisance. The systems ranked in the top 10 most troublesome vehicle features in every year since 2022, according to J.D. Power. The buggy systems are emblematic of persistent struggles car makers have experienced while adding tech-forward features ranging from touchscreens to parking sensors. Problems often stem from how displays process and wiring interact, Harvey said. Vehicle infotainment systems, often presented to the driver as a touchscreen that contains both vehicle information and cabin entertainment, ranked among the top reasons for consumer complaints in J.D. Power's latest initial quality study. Infotainment systems were also the only category experiencing an increase in reported problems in the 2026 study. Although complaints about rear-view cameras are categorized separately by J.D. Power, buggy infotainment systems can sometimes prevent the rear-view image from being displayed on the main infotainment screen. It's not necessarily the backup camera itself that's failing. The issue is that there are problems with the big computer in the middle of every car, says Jake Fisher, Senior Director of Automotive Testing at Consumer Reports. Malfunctions can stem from a variety of underlying faults, including software issues and manufacturing missteps. In March, Ford Motor Company recalled about 1.7 million vehicles in 2 campaigns over issues affecting rear-view cameras. In one callback, the rear-view camera images appeared reversed. In the other, an overheating component could cause the infotainment system to go blank. In May, Honda Motor Company recalled nearly 60,000 electric vehicles over a manufacturing flaw that could allow water or debris to enter the camera. As vehicles become more connected with Wi-Fi and digital services, defects are increasingly becoming tied to software, said Cedric Harvey. That's only going to continue, he said. So keep your eye on that camera. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television.
Who can you turn to for news you can trust? Your local TV and radio broadcasters. You trust us to keep you safe during times of crisis and to deliver the weather, sports, and entertainment you rely on every day. We bring you the facts you need to make decisions that matter. And as misinformation floods social media, you can trust your local stations to deliver the truth. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress you rely on your local stations for trusted news.
In today's digital world, it's hard to know who to trust. Your local TV and radio stations bring you the facts. Misinformation and deep fakes flood social media, but broadcasters deliver verified and accurate news. For news, emergency updates, sports, and entertainment, turn to your local stations. Text TV to 52886 and urge Congress to support the vital local journalism broadcasters provide.
You know the national parks, but you may not know that they're supported by a strong foundation. A foundation for the future. We are the National Park Foundation. And together with your support, we are building a bold future where national parks are vibrant, protected, and welcoming. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Back with you on Oxford News this week. Hope you're having a good one. Yes, fall sports. Oh, it is so close. We're excited about it. Again, a big change in sports. Saginaw Valley League and Oakland Activities Association, the OAA, realignment. Grand Blanc and Davison will now leave the Saginaw Valley League to join the OAA. For the 2027-2028 school year, this addition will expand the OAA to 28 schools across 4 divisions. Following votes by the OAA athletic directors made that possible in March, and the principals on June 12th. Division realignments have not been announced, but so far we have Clawson, Novi, Northville, will also join in the 2026-27 season. In a related story, the current OAA football divisions, here they are, In the blue division, Groves, Seaholm, Farmington, Harper Woods, and North Farmington, Oak Park, Southfield A&T, Waterford, Mott. In the white division, Bloomfield Hills, Rochester, Stony Creek, Troy, Athens. In the gold division, Avondale, Berkeley, Ferndale, Pontiac, Royal Oak. And in the red division, Clarkston, Lake Orion, longtime rival of Oxford, Rochester Adams, and West Bloomfield. A little bit of a shakeup there with some new additions to that OAA, again, making it a stronger league. And we jump down south just a tad, but we want to congratulate the 2026 Junior League World Series Championship, La Mirada, California, capturing the championship in Livonia a few weeks ago. A 6-3 victory over Xingming, the Chinese Taipei, in 10 innings at the Heritage Park. That game was highlighted by Jaden Valdez's 3-run home run in the 10th inning. Once again, Little League at its best. We'll take a slight break here. Dave Kenny's got, I do believe, science in the news. I always learn something with that. I'll be back with our last story, and with the last story, a chance to get in some golf. We'll tell you about that at the end of this newscast on Oxford News this week.
Who can you turn to for news you can trust? Your local TV and radio broadcasters. You trust us to keep you safe during times of crisis and to deliver the weather, sports, and entertainment you rely on every day. We bring you the facts you need to make decisions that matter. And as misinformation floods social media, you can trust your local stations to deliver the truth. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress you rely on your local stations for trusted news.
In today's digital world, it's hard to know who to trust. Your local TV and radio stations bring you the facts. Misinformation and deep fakes flood social media, but broadcasters deliver verified and accurate news. For news, emergency updates, sports, and entertainment, turn to your local stations. Text TV to 52886 and urge Congress to support the vital local journalism broadcasters provide.
You know the national parks, but you may not know that they're supported by a strong foundation. A foundation for the future. We are the National Park Foundation. And together with your support, we are building a bold future where national parks are vibrant, protected, and welcoming. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. Two Denisovans who lived around 45,000 years ago were among the biggest humans of their time, with one at a height of 190 centimeters, estimated to be about 20 centimeters taller than the average man today. The enigmatic Denisovans were a group of ancient humans who lived in Asia around 30,000 years ago. They were discovered in 2010, and only a few fossils have been found, giving us limited information about their biology and their lifestyles. Yosuke Kafu at the University of Tokyo and his colleagues analyzed leg bones from two separate individuals dredged by fishers from the seafloor of Penghu Channel, west of Taiwan. During the Pleistocene period from 2.58 million to 11,700 years ago, mainland Asia and the Southeast Asian archipelago were home to multiple hominin species, including Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, Denisovans, Homo floresiensis, and Homo luzonensis. The team was able to determine which hominin species the femur and tibia fossils came from by analyzing proteins preserved in the bones. Known as Penghu 2 and 3, they are some of the largest Pleistocene Homo leg bones ever found, the researchers say. Kai-Fu and his colleagues say in their paper that Penghu 2 was probably male and would have weighed around 83 kilograms and been about 180 centimeters tall. Penghu 3, also a male, would have weighed 91 kilograms and been about 190 centimeters tall. This means Penghu 3 in particular would have towered over his H. erectus relatives by up to 30 centimeters and been of a height and weight comparable to the largest Homo sapiens from Africa and Europe. Adam Broom at Griffith University in Brisbane, Australia, who wasn't involved in the study, says the Taiwanese Denisovans were big and imposing humans. In a separate study released simultaneously, Kai-Fu's team announced that the leg bones had been radiocarbon dated to between 45,000 and 43,000 years ago, later than most previously studied Denisovan fossils. Exactly when and where in the Penghu Channel the fossils were collected is unknown, but the two leg bones were part of a large collection donated in 2010 to the National Museum of Natural Science in Taiwan. In the same collection was a jawbone, also identified as Denisovan, but of a much less clear age. Analyzing the carbon and nitrogen isotopes in fossil bones can relieve hints about animals' diet and the environment in which they lived. This suggests that Penghu 3 lived in a savanna or grassland environment and consumed a high proportion of animal protein, similar to findings from some European Neanderthals. But there are no signs that this individual consumed food from either marine or freshwater environments. While the Penghu leg bones generally resemble those of other archaic hominins, they also have some small anatomical features in common with Homo sapiens, including a prominent bony ridge called a pilaster on their thigh bones. This could indicate interbreeding with modern humans or an adaptation to their nomadic lifestyle, Kai-Fu and his colleagues suggest. Broom says the Denisovans would have needed large and athletic bodies to hunt big game like elephants and other megaherbivores that would have been nomadic foragers who frequently traveled long distance on foot in search of game and wild plant foods. If I were an early modern human moving through this part of the world and coming into conflict with their long-established hominin cousins, I think I'd much rather have come face to face with one of those tiny so-called hobbits of Flores than a Denisovan from Taiwan, says Broom. Other Denisovan fossils found further north also suggest a large body, says Chris Stinger at the Natural History Museum in London. What's interesting is that we might have expected a somewhat lighter build in the warmer conditions around Taiwan, even if from a glacial period, he says. These fossils are up there with the largest Neanderthal estimates for both weight and height, he says. Well, that was interesting. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
In today's digital world, it's hard to know who to trust. Your local TV and radio stations bring you the facts. Misinformation and deep fakes flood social media, but broadcasters deliver verified and accurate news. For news, emergency updates, sports, and entertainment, turn to your local stations. Text TV to 52886 and urge Congress to support the vital local journalism broadcasters provide.
Who can you turn to for news you can trust? Your local TV and radio broadcasters. You trust us to keep you safe during times of crisis and to deliver the weather, sports, and entertainment you rely on every day. We bring you the facts you need to make decisions that matter. And as misinformation floods social media, you can trust your local stations to deliver the truth. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress you rely on your local stations for trusted news.
You know the national parks, but you may not know that they're supported by a strong foundation. A foundation for the future. We are the National Park Foundation. And together with your support, we are building a bold future where national parks are vibrant, protected, and welcoming. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Welcome back to Oxford News This Week. Again, my colleague Terry Stiles out. She'll be back soon. She's busy working on some of the sponsorships that we've been trying to get. If you'd like to sponsor any type of programming here at our station, you can call our number at 248-628-9658. Ask for either Dave Kenny, Terry Stiles. Again, they will be able to point you in the right direction to set up a sponsorship. Chuck Cameron is the lead on this one. In our last story today, something to do in Grand Blanc, the Ally Challenge. Details have been announced for the PGA Tour Championships. Always a great event taking place in the end of August, August 24th through the 30th at Warwick Hills Golf and Country Club. McLaren Adaptive Golf Clinic will take place, part of that, on August 24th from 9 a.m. to noon if you want to get some of your golf lessons in on the driving range, followed by a lunch at Coach's Challenge at 1 p.m. The event features more than 40 adaptive golfers, national coaches partnering with the U.S. Adaptive Golf Alliance. Family Fun Night is also slated that week. Thursday night, August 27th from 5 until 7:30 in the evening on hole number 17. And the Fan Zone, this is a free event that includes music, inflatables, golf stations, complimentary food, and youth 17 and under. Free parking and shuttle service will be available. Again, Grand Blanc High School would be the place to pick up the shuttle. Destinations are open Thursday through Sunday, featuring Ally Foot Golf, McLaren Operation Putt. Also is available. Public viewing decks will be there. Food trucks and Zender's complimentary brunch will take place. Tickets for admission to the Open and spectators tickets are available starting at $15. Youth at $17 and under receive free grounds access when accompanied by a ticketed adult. Again, sounds like a good time to end the summer with some great golf over there in Grand Blanc. If you'd like more information, and I didn't break it down good enough for you, log on to their website. It's thealleychallenge.com. That's going to wrap it up for this newscast. We'd like to definitely thank you for joining us. Looking forward to some fall sports. And again, if you'd like to sponsor any one of our programs, we'd love to have you do that. 248-628-9658. Contact Chuck Cameron, Dave Kenny, or even Terry Stiles. And we appreciate the sponsors we have so far going into the fall sports and high school season. Oxford Community Television can be viewed on Charter Channel 191, also on the AT&T UVerse system, and I believe that is 91. We are on multiple platforms, which include Roku, of course, the smart TV. I always forget this part of it, but we're on multiple platforms, which also includes YouTube. Thanking our people that make this all possible. Our director, producer himself, we couldn't do it without him, Kyle Snage in the back. Also my colleague, Terry Stiles. And for everybody here at OCTV, Jim Hughes, will invite you back next time when both of us, Terry Stiles and myself, will take a look at Oxford News This Week. Have a great week, everyone.